Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. We've got another big screen this morning. I need to be consistent about this. Anyway, we've got one more coffee to review. I've got my Bloodthirst Teas mug. I've got my unfiltered t-shirt on with my flower and skull capri pants, a combination I've never worn before. Seeing a lot of people post pictures of themselves being more whimsical decided help has made me decide, to explore my whimsical side a little bit more again. I went to a local festival yesterday and bought a few things. I got a little resin dragon, some blueberry lemon jelly, some honey, 3 cookies, and a bracelet. I only stayed about an hour because, well, I couldn't eat the food because brats and burgers don't agree with me. So after an hour, I called for a cab and waited another half an hour, so hour and a half. I was there an hour and a half. And then when I got to my place and the cab driver was dropping me off, I realized I couldn't find my driver's license. So I was all upset. And she said she'd go back and look or ask around and she'd call me. Spoilers, she didn't call me. And she suggested I go, since it was a weekend, she didn't think anything would happen with it, but she suggested I go onto the motor vehicles website and report my driver's license lost. So I said, okay. And she said, well, they could take me to motor vehicles at some point and get a new one. And she said, you look old enough to drink anyway, so you wouldn't have to worry about you getting your driver's license checked. So I left a message after she dropped me off. I got inside, dug through my purse again. I'd used my little crossbody bag, my pink one from Emmett Sprout, and I had that on with my cat and bats pumpkin t-shirt with my batwing leggings on, all coordinated. Anyway, dumped that out, looked, and it wasn't there. And I was upset, so I called, I went on the motor vehicles website and listed my license as being lost and needed a replacement. Well, on the bright side of all of that was, part of the bright side, was they let you apply online for a replacement. So I went ahead and did that. They had already had my current address because I had done an address change without driver's license change so I could register to vote in North Fond du Lac. I had massive brain cramps and couldn't figure out how to do that when I tried that because I wasn't reading everything properly. But I'll stick a pin in that and come back to it. So I got that taken care of and was able to get a replacement driver's license. They gave me an electronic temporary one to use that I can use if I go to vote or whatever in the meantime while I'm waiting for the new one to come in. And I was also able to go ahead and, well, it's like, you can go ahead and register to vote. And, oh, shoot, I don't have my driver's license number because I couldn't remember what it was. So I went ahead and did the driver's license replacement, paid the $14, and then said, well, I'll get back into register to vote when I can. Not too long. Well, I couldn't tell you exactly what time it was when I saw a police car show up. I thought, oh, somebody found my driver's license. Because, like I said, oh, yes, I'd also left a message with, like I said, I called the park. Well, I'd called the fire department because they were sponsoring the event. I called them to let them know my license was missing. And the police showed up with my license, and I thanked him. Somebody turned it in, and they looked it up, and this was the address they had for me. Paraphrasing, not his exact words. And I told him, well, explain it. The upside of all of it was, when I went ahead and put in for a replacement, I was able to put my current address in, so that when I do get my replacement, I at least have a license with my current address on it. And he agreed with me that yeah, that was a good thing out of all of it. So on the downside, I lost my driver's license and had to replace it. But the upside was I now am going to be getting a license with my current address. And once he gave me the license back, I went ahead and t- went back into the voter registration, which for some reason I couldn't figure out before. I thought, well, how can I not register? Um, because I kept coming up with Fond, it kept coming up with Fond du Lac instead of North Fond du Lac. Well, anyway, so I was able to use my license that he gave me back to type in my driver's license number to get registered to vote officially. So now I'm officially registered to vote again. I've got a new license coming with my current address. Although I don't know if I'll be able to buy beer if I go when I go shopping again while I'm waiting, because I don't know if they'll accept my electronic one, electronic replacement. Although I do have my hard copy, and most places don't scan the squiggly code on the back, so maybe I can still use it. We'll see. Anyway, that was our story time. I don't usually have those. We're going to do the coffee. Oh, yes. Coffin Creek, Ritual, White Chocolate Macadamia. This one's got, I think it's a Wendigo. And they always cover their slogan so you can't read it. They don't have it on the back either. They really need to do a little bit better on the labeling, because it's something about pouring coffee and something about the dead. And yeah. So, your Coffin Creek, please work on your label. If you have a catchy slogan, please print it so we can read the slogan. And please, ingredients. There are people who have allergies. That would be a good idea. This one has a little bit stronger smell than the um, Northern Nightmare. The first two I bought from them, they were a little bit stronger flavor, slightly, still subdued, but more obvious. Let's hope this. Hopefully, yeah, I cannot talk this morning. I'm tasting chocolate. And I'm all tongue tied. I think I overheated yesterday. My brain's like, "Bleh." Getting a fine hint of macadamia. I'm getting chocolate and macadamia and coffee. I'm not able to discern whether it's white chocolate or not, but I'm tasting coffee and chocolate and macadamia nuts. It's not bad so far. Death by Chocolate. I'll say, I would say in order: Death by Chocolate, then this one, then Snicker Brutal, which tasted way too much like Death by Chocolate, and Northern Nightmare, last place. Because for something that's supposed to be Canadian maple, I wanted to get hit in the face with Canadian maple syrup, and I was disappointed. I had a 10% coupon I could use for coffee, but I don't drink that much coffee anymore. I used to drink it like crazy. Now I hoard it like a dragon because especially when I get unusual flavors. Which reminds me, I haven't ordered Um, New Mexico Pinion in a while. I also haven't ordered a few other ones in a while either. But I've got so much coffee now. I've got this bag, plus the Northern Nightmare, which I will use, plus the Snickerdoodle, plus Death by Chocolate, plus the Stout blend. That's five. And then I've got Wicked Wolf from Raven's Brew. Yeah, I've got like 7 bags of coffee, so I won't need any anytime soon. And the fact that these 4 of them are whole bean, 5 of them are whole bean. Yeah, I've got plenty for a while. The goal is basically to stock up while I have my unemployment, because once that dries up, if I don't get a part-time job, then it's going to be just, like I said, just my Social Security and my distribution I set up for myself, basically giving myself an allowance. So, yeah, and I still haven't gotten my tax refund. There was a glitch with the tax accountant, and I gave them my, that was part of my glitch too, because I I hadn't thought about the fact that I'd given them the wrong account number. I'd given them my debit card instead of my checking account, so that's straightened out. So I should be getting something soon, I hope, unless the IRS keeps the money, because I didn't take taxes out of my unemployment. I assumed that they would just not give me a refund next year when I file. And then the year after that, I will get a refund because I took out took out too many taxes with my distribution. But I guess if I don't get a refund this year because I didn't tax the unemployment, and end up getting a refund next year, I guess that works. But I would like to hear something in the mail. I've not heard diddly. Is it raining? It is. It is raining. It's raining. I don't think you can hear it, but it's raining. Anyway, that was an extra story time there. But yes, so driver's license lost and found. Getting a new one with my current address. Good thing. Um, Things straightened out with the IRS and my tax accountant. However, no refund as of yet. Oh, and the best news is Lilo. Hey, baby. Man, you want to say hi to everybody since it's your birthday? Do you want to say hello? I gave her almond milk as a treat because I don't make cakes for my pets. Yeah, you want a pretty girl? Okay, come here, baby. Come here, sweetie. Yeah, pretty fluffy stuff. Say hello. Oh, we go. As I go off camera, and here she is. Here's the birthday girl. My goodness, look how big and fluffy she's gotten since you all first saw her. Isn't she beautiful? Look at this beautiful girl. Look at this beautiful girl. I love you. Mwah. You can definitely tell she's part Maine Coon. She's got the fluff between her toes. Yeah. She's got the neck fluffies. Yeah. And the big long tail. And she's so cuddly. She reminds me of my cat Clara that I used to have. He liked hugs too. Well, she wants to get moving. All right. Thank you for letting me show you off, pretty thing. So that's it. Like I said, if ranking wise, Death by Chocolate, Ritual, Snickerdoodle, Northern Nightmare, and I'm ranking them as a brand. Um, because the stout blend is just regular coffee, so that's um, not even fair because it doesn't have a flavor. And Wicked Wolf is also just a regular coffee, although at those two, I would say they're about even. Um, the chocolate raspberry truffle that I had that I bought from the grocery store was okay. You chocolate raspberry flavor, but it's definitely artificial. So that would be down. Actually, flavor wise, if I was going to lump all of them together that I've done recently, it would be ahead of Northern Nightmare, but only because it's got an obvious flavor to it, as opposed to just sort of an idea of a flavor, a concept of a flavor, if you will. Yeah, I like poking fun at a certain person without actually mentioning any names because, well, I try to be apolitical. It's kind of hard to be apolitical anymore. So, yes, my rambling story time is over. The review is over. Um, Showing off the birthday girl. All the boxes ticked. If you like these crazy videos, please give them a claws up. If you want to subscribe to my nonsense, hit the bell once. If you want notifications as to when this crazy old bat is going to do more stuff, hit the bell a second time. Feel free to comment down below, but please keep it civil. And as always, drac responsibly, give the designated Dracula a chance to imbibe if they wish, and let somebody else be designated Dracula. And please take care of your fellow monsters, especially the monsters that are changing form. Too many horrible things are happening, and I don't mention the news, but I was reading on the news about a college student who was simply doing their laundry. My condolences go out to her and her family. That should not happen to anyone, ever. And that's the first time in a while I've brought brought that into a video. There was a previous time when I mentioned someone who needed to be stood up for, and that was a while back. So perhaps I need to speak up more often. So yes, and that's why we need to look out for our fellow monsters, especially the ones that are changing form. That shouldn't happen to anybody, and it shouldn't happen to her. So be safe, be careful, be aware. And buddy system. If you have to from now on, take someone with you. Even if you're doing the laundry, if you're doing small things, take someone with you. Have some found family or found friend with you. Well, friend. Found family or friend with you. Buddy system. Have somebody with you. Okay? Stay safe. I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Bye now.